Fallout 4 has a giant arsenal that you could use to destroy your enemies, but there is one gun that almost everyone seems to leave untouched, mainly because getting slapped with a tortilla would do more damage, but that gun is the pipe pistol. Today we will answer a question no one has ever asked. Can you beat Fallout 4 with an unmodded pipe pistol? Before we proceed with this torture, a few rules need to be set. Rule 1, as always, no sneak build. And rule 2, the only weapon I can use to damage my enemies is an unmodded pipe pistol. Now that the rules have been set, let's get right to it. I felt like changing things up this run, so I created the most gorgeous being to ever grace upon this planet. After hanging out with the fam, I decided to name her after this viewer, because he's not wrong. Your boy is thicker than the racial divide in Uganda. I pumped my skill points into endurance, charisma, and intelligence, and then immediately got my family time ruined because Adam left his oven on. While running to the vault, I wanted to see what would happen if I went the other way. I was pleasantly amused with the result. After I was done being distracted, I bestowed on the horror of Adam's house exploding because of his oven and went down into the vault. Down there, I had a bad dream where my husband died and woke up to find out that it was actually reality. That made me happy because I hated that fucker. Getting out of that vault was the fight of my life, mainly because there wasn't a pipe pistol to scavenge down there, but also because my game was on survival. I'll touch more on that later. I made it out of the vault and showed the world my beauty. God damn, girl. Did you just shit your pants? Because you got a diaper booty. After I was done admiring myself, I witnessed a homicide Codsworth committed and then went off to go help out my boy Preston. Along the way, I also found my first pipe pistol. I made it to Preston with ease and popped those silly little raiders. Things were actually going quite well. I plowed my way through the building Preston was in, turning all the raiders into instant mashed potatoes, just the way I like it, and then discussed a plan with Preston. A few moments later, I was outside raining hell on those turds in the parking lot. The power armor made things a lot easier. Okay, let me just lure out Becky so he could take care of these guys for me. Yes, good girl. Good girl. After Becky dealt with the raiders, it was time for me to backstab that slab of moose meat. I was going to have to waste so much ammo just to take her out. See you later, Preston. Becky's all yours. Merry Christmas. Realizing that Becky the Deathclaw was going to be a taste of what this run had in store, it was time to formulate our plan. Operation Dildo Fetus was now in effect. This operation has only one goal: to make it through Fallout with only the pipe pistol and to not go insane. We have already discovered that throwing a chicken nugget at someone's head would do more damage than the pipe pistol, so the pistol perks to do more damage and stim packs are going to be my only way out of this run. I need to scavenge and sell as much as possible so I could be sure to get enough ammo and healing equipment by the end of the game. The railroad, aka the Harriet Tubman Enthusiast Group, will be my route this run. The hardest part will be taking out the Brotherhood of Hypebeasts. The Institute isn't much of my worry because I can easily pipe those dudes. You get it? You guys like my puns, right?
Who put this in the script, man? This shit sucks.
With my plan now in motion, it was time to save the world's favorite grandma. I popped Trash Can Carla for being repulsive and met the bully that needed to be taken care of. Wolfgang wasn't much of a problem, as they agreed to peacefully leave her alone. I went to go tell Granny that the bad men were gone, and for the first time in one of my playthroughs, I didn't actually want to murder her, but I misclicked and shot her anyway. I made it to Diamond City with haste, and also for once skipped Dan's mission. There was no point in doing it anyway, as I was going to have to murder his friends and family later on. At McNaldo City, I met with the leader, McNaldo, and did the usual that I always do when I come here. After talking to Piper, getting that sweet free XP, I quickly remembered the most important part of this run. If this is not done now, I could jeopardize the entire playthrough. Hey, don't mind me, guys. Just coming through. Oh, does she? Okay, she doesn't know. Yeah, I'll just take these with me. Thanks, guys. Yeah, thanks. I'll just take them with me over here. Thanks. I appreciate it, guys. After finishing my very imperative heist, I chatted with Nick's mom and discussed how exactly I was going to fuck Skinny Malone and his men. We formulated a plan. I went and grabbed my power armor and set off. Getting through this place was a pain because I was literally tickling all of their fannies. Now, it's time to be honest with you guys. My original plan for this video was to do this all on survival. Survival with only an unmodded pipe pistol. But unfortunately, this area alone drove me to my boiling point.
Are you fucking kidding me? How is this even freaking possible, dude?
So I decided to give up on the survival part. I'm sorry for those of you disappointed in me, but I wanted to get a video out this week, so this had to do. Even though I wasn't on survival, I was still basically healing them with the damage I was doing. But eventually, Todd Howard pulled me through. I ran out of ammo halfway in the mission, so I had to resort to slapping some of these goons. Eventually, Nick and I convinced Skinny's wife to leave, and even though I didn't kill Skinny Malone, I know I killed his hopes and dreams of ever being with her again, so it was a win for me. We traveled back to Diamond City and then went to go get the keys to Kellogg's place. Convincing the lady at the front desk was easy enough, and Nick and I did a little break and entering. With Kellogg's dildo now in my hand, it was time for DogMeat to find me a little dirty monkey bitch named Kellogg. While on our journey, DogMeat assaulted an innocent family of Ragstow. Let's get a moment of silence for these poor souls. Eventually, I made it to Fort Hagen Resort, the place where all the pipe pistol only players want to be, and it was time to dick down our main man, Kellogg. Before this diaper booty could do that though, I needed to stock up on a few supplies. I went back to D-City, vendor farmed, and then came right back to tackle the fort. Getting through was a breeze, because I just ran past all those crippled turds, but the real challenge, that was Kellogg. He was a pain because he healed faster than I could physically do damage to him, but with the might of Todd Howard and my diaper booty, I avoided not getting pooped on by adversity. I finally killed him, got out of there, and watched the Brotherhood of Hypebeasts move into town. I traveled back to Diamond City, talked to Nick, and then beeline straight to Good Neighbor. I found an abandoned dead body and made use of it. I made it inside and found Amari immediately. It was time to find out the next step in our journey. After a long and thoughtful conversation, it was time to go explore Kellogg's fantasies. Nothing here was new. Oh god, I forgot I still had no clothes on. Get that the fuck off my screen! It was time to pay our bestie Virgil a visit. So that meant I would need a super suit for the glowing sea. I went to my usual super suit location and set out for Virgil's humble abode. Getting through the sea wasn't a problem at all. I totally didn't have a tough time traversing it, or was I molested by irradiated scorpions. After I was done not being molested, I watched a Deathclaw who was.
Yeah, get 'em, boys. Yes, good shit. Woo! Yes! It's fucking awesome!
The fun was over though, and I finally got to Virgil. He told me of the location of a very friendly man that wanted to be my friend, and this man was needed to help me progress with the story, so I had to meet him. I got to the area where the courser was, and the gunners treated me with the utmost hospitality. They were great and really nice people. They even let me get to the courser problem free. Unfortunately, Virgil lied to me. The courser wasn't a very nice man, but many bullets and stim packs later, I finally got him to comprehend with me. Peacefully, of course, because we're a family-friendly YouTube channel. Nothing feels worse than fighting a man, and then in the final shots to kill him, he uses a fucking stim pack, and you sit there doing negative damage as he hit! I showed the gunner captive something special, and then went off to find the railroad to get the science machine thing that the courser had deciphered. Finding the railroad was easy enough, and there I was, back at Virgil, to find out what he would lie to me about next. He showed me an ancient ninja technique, Shunshin no Jutsu, aka teleportation, and that was useful because I needed that to get into the Institute. I went back to the Railroad HQ to pledge my allegiance to them and went off to go scavenge a sewer system so Deacon could find the naughty magazine he left there. After we were done there, I skedaddled to Diamond City to stock up on supplies. It was time to prepare my jutsu. After a bit of practicing, I finally got it right and teleported my thick bum right into the Institute. I needed to quickly prepare myself for the meeting that was about to ensue. First impressions mean everything. I met my son, caught up with him a bit, and then went off to go talk to Patriot. Patriot was important because he was going to help me in teaching the rest of the synth in the Institute how to do the rebel against the Institute jutsu. Now that everyone was on the same page, it was time to get the passcode for the Defender. Not even 5 minutes later, I returned the passcode back to Desna Mongoloid, and then she told me it was time to stir up some violence. It was about time too, because our violence levels were running pretty low. I entered the room and those synth guards didn't even know what was coming. I vatsed one of the guards and okay, I guess I'll just miss every shot. Nice. From there, my friends, I just sat in the corner as my slaves did all the work. With the guards dead, it was now time to keep working as a double agent for the railroad. My next task was to retrieve a naughty synth runaway. This part was totally easy. Not a single problem at all. I definitely didn't have a hard time getting to the synth, and the courser definitely he definitely helped me out a lot. After making it to the top, I got distracted and then popped the goons that were with the naughty synth. The courser left me alone, but I got out of there in one piece. After returning to Father, he told me it was now time for the Battle of Bunker Hill. This was going to be balls simple because I ran through most of it, and while doing that, I had a glorious moment. This, ladies and gentlemen, is violence. I love violence. I freed a few slaves, killed another courser by face fucking him with my pipe pistol, and now it was time to attend a meeting. I arrived at the meeting, dressed accordingly of course, and then prepared myself for the next task, the worst mission in the entire game. A vendor reset later, I needed to go retrieve what was rightfully mine from my great friends the Gunners, and went on my way to Mass Fusion. Mass Fusion was a pain. As normal. I was literally doing no damage to the hype beasts that were there, so I just ran past literally every single one of them. I went inside and grabbed the science dildo that resided in the machine, spent 30 minutes killing the sentry bots and assaultrons, and then was out of there faster than my dad on the day I was born. After Mass Fusion, I was told to ameliorate an angry scientist, give the I have a speech dream verbatim, and then did a little vendor reset for some more supplies. I attended another Pipe Pistols Anonymous meeting in the proper attire, and was told of a potential hype beast attack on the Harriet Tubman HQ. Oh no! Whatever shall we do? They're attacking us. After fending them off, the boys and I decided it was time to do our hype beast be gone jutsu. I traveled to the station and Deacon, Tom, and I brought them pain upon their sweet innocent type bums. It took quite a bit of ammo, but eventually we were out of there with one of their ships to bring the fight straight to them. We arrived and I chatted my way through their flying thingy. My diaper booty absorbed 90% of the bullets, but at least I was able to plant all 3 charges. As I was leaving and the ship was about to blow, I almost forgot. I couldn't let this poor, innocent being be devoured by the flames that were about to engulf this flying turd. I saved a life that day. I need you all to remember that. We got out of there and watched the place blow. Relief grew across my giant forehead as the final mission popped up. The nuclear option. One more to go, baby. Time was of the essence. I needed to finish up this run. Without restocking on supplies or anything, I sped my booty to the Institute and popped the people guarding the teleporter room. I was so fucking proud seeing that the homies finally got their teleportation jutsu correct, and now they were here to give me a hand. I put myself in the proper attire, and you know, I take back what I said earlier. This is what perfection truly looked like. Even though I looked like an elephant giving birth to a skyscraper, I was beautiful in my own way. We traversed the underground of the Institute and Desda Mongoloid capped everybody. And then I made a special visit to my son. I like to call this mother-son bonding. While continuing forward, Desda Mongoloid turned into a vegetable, but that was okay. I ran past the guards and waited as her people demolished the synth threat as a team. Operation Dildo Fetus was successful. That was it, boys. With my diaper booty still intact, I finally did it. Fallout 4 can be completed with an unmodded pipe pistol. I am truly sorry that the survival run didn't work out, but I care about my mental health and my keyboard self, so I hope you understand. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. The recent amount of subs are goddamn crazy. Thank you guys for so much support. Be sure to tune into next week's video where we decipher the characteristics of a true diaper booty.